Hey guys, how's it going? Dudey here. I am back with another video. Today I thought I would do a Netflix tier list. This is everything that you can get on Netflix right now, the UK version, in the horror genre. We've got some funny horrors, we've got some terrifying horrors, we've got some gory horrors, all in a lovely, neat tier list consisting of 4 tiers. So guys, I say we just jump in and hopefully you get some ideas to watch tonight and spook yourself on Netflix. If you could hit that subscribe button, it would really help me out because I'm so close to 100k and it would just mean a lot to get the silver plaque. Anyway, let's have a look at that tier list. Okay, so the first tier is meh, and the film that I have is Ghosts of War. Now, I don't want to spoil anything, but with this movie it's very difficult because something happens in this film, and I think that the directors, the creators, the writers thought, oh man, they're gonna be like, boom, M. Night Shyamalan on these motherfuckers. They couldn't have got it more wrong if they tried. This film, the premise is awesome, initially. A battalion of army guys, they take refuge in this haunted mansion, and obviously in a haunted mansion, weird stuff starts to happen. It's a really cool premise initially. Then they do something, and it's just like, oh, why on earth did you do that? So this film, in an instant, goes from a pretty good film to meh. Doom. Okay, now this movie, don't get me wrong, it's good fun. It is good fun. It's cheesy, and if you're being honest with yourself, it's pretty shit. But it's kind of like, I feel like meh is a bit harsh. I feel like if there was like a guilty pleasure tier, this would be right at home. It does have a moment in it which is very cool, where it goes first person perspective, killing lots of demons and stuff. That was cool. The cast is pretty cool. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, I think this was like one of his earlier roles. He looks incredibly young and slimmer, not as roided up in this movie. But yeah, Doom, they kind of missed the main premise of, you know, the Doom video games, which is a big shame. Yeah, it's a meh film ultimately, but if you want something in the background and every time you tune in it's good fun, then slap Doom on. Okay, Death Note. Now I know that there is a manga and stuff attached to this that I know has a very strong and passionate fan base, and I think that's arguably why this was so poorly received, because apparently Death Note, in comparison to its source material, is bloody awful. And I have to say, you know, I watched this movie with high expectations. It's got the dude, I can't think of his name, he was the Goblin in the first Spider-Man movie as the Death Note dude. I really don't know too much about Death Note, so I do apologise. But yeah, the movie I thought was just pretty crap, and apparently fans of Death Note thought it was pretty crap. It's meh. Okay, so up next we have Wounds. By the way, the camera died and I took my fleece off, so I'm now in the Operation Paperclip up my shirt. Anyway, Wounds. Okay, Armie Hammer. I watched the trailer and I thought, you know what, this looks really, really cool. I must admit the premise was really confusing, and of course I won't go into any details, I won't give off any spoilers, because I want this to be a video where you can come for some ideas for things to watch. I don't feel like what they were going for landed. I feel like the end of this film, which I'm not going to give away, is one of those endings where you have to Google it to understand what on earth just happened. And even after Googling it, I still don't really understand. It's very left field. I just didn't. Wounds, it's in this category for a reason. It's a stinking meh. Okay, into good movie now. Now this may be disputed by some people. I know that on IMDb, I think it's got like 1 out of 5, but I enjoyed it. There's a dude, which is on the thumbnail there, you can see he's got like a massive creepy smile going on. That's what kind of got me to click on it. It's Day of the Dead, you know, it's a bit of George Romero based on that original movie. And you know, it's a fun zombie flick. You know, I think with a lot of zombie movies, as long as you go into it not taking it too seriously, then I think you're gonna have a good time. And to be honest, I think that this movie, it's gory, it's fun, it's not shit, you know? It got into good movie by the skin of its teeth, but it's something I'd recommend you go and watch. Okay, Gerald's Game, right? It's a story by Stephen King, so that instantly gets a massive thumbs up. It's Mike Flanagan, you know, the guy that made Haunting of Hill House and all those good things. So Gerald's Game, it's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer, I believe, and it's in like the first 5 minutes of the movie. Basically, a middle-aged married couple, their relationship is strenuous, I'd say, to say the least. The passion has gone, so they go to a log cabin, to a you know, a house in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a forest, just to have a good time. And whilst trying to have that good time, she is handcuffed kinkily to the bed, and he takes too much Viagra, has a heart attack, and dies on her. And they're in the middle of nowhere, and she has no way of escape. And it delves into the hallucination, the dehydration, the starvation, the hysteria of that, and how she copes with it is intriguing. There is one bit in particular that is incredibly gory, which makes me just cringe thinking about it. But you know what? Gerald's Game is an excellent movie. It maybe should be a little bit higher than it is. No, I'm going to be savage. Gerald's Game, it's a good movie. Check it out. Hostel, right, I couldn't put this in great, even though it is up there. It can only really be good because it lives and dies on its abundance of gore, you know? If you're a fan of the Saw movies and that, you're gonna love Hostel. If you've got a weak stomach, you're gonna hate this movie, let me tell you now. I can't quite remember where it's based. It's like Slovakia or something like that. Some backpackers go to a hostel and then they get tricked, and then they end up, you know, being tortured by the rich and powerful. And apparently, where this is set in real life, is a lovely place to go. Crime rates are really, really low. And when this movie came out, it actually damaged tourism to that part of Europe, which they were very, very displeased with, to say the least. But yeah, Hostel, it's a good movie. I enjoy it. Hostel 2 is decent. Hostel 3 is actually on Netflix as well. I haven't actually seen Hostel 3. I might throw that on tonight actually. But yeah, so Hostel, it's good, gory, fun. The Visit, good film, really good film. Two kids go to visit their estranged grandparents, and not everything is as it seems. Now, a disclaimer, the kid, the lad in this film, he is an aspiring like 11-year-old rapper, and I have to say, it is a huge cringe fest every time that he chooses to freestyle. But once you get past that, it's found footage type handheld camera, and it's done very well. And I really enjoy this film. I've seen it a number of times, and there is a super duper twist in this movie that you're going to be like, whoa, holy shit. Shit, another quite important element of this movie. Human shit. But anyway, that is The Visit. It's not shit, it's good. Okay, on to great tier now. I love this movie. I love Nazi zombie movies, and I think Overlord, to be honest, does it best. When you think of like Outpost, another great Nazi zombie movie, and the German one where they're in the, I can't even think what it's called, but they're in like the mountains. That's another great Nazi zombie movie. But yeah, Overlord kind of starts out, to be honest, for the first quarter or so as a war movie, and then they infiltrate a science bunker and they find that not all is as it appears, and there is a lot more going on, which I believe the Nazis were doing back then. I've actually got a video on Nazi zombies on this channel. Type in Dudey, Rhino, Nazi zombies and enjoy that one. I think it's on about 50 or 60k. It's a great, great video, if I do say myself humbly. But yes, Overlord, it's a brilliant movie. This was apparently originally supposed to be part of the Cloverfield universe, but J.J. Abrams decided to take it in a different direction. I think it's a great movie. It's why it's in great tier. If you haven't seen it, watch it. If you have seen it and you want a good movie to watch again, watch Overlord again. I've watched it like 2 or 3 times now, and I've enjoyed it every single time. Spree, new to Netflix, watched it recently, loved the premise, made me hate the fact that I'm an influencer. I won't lie to you, it actually made me want to quit my career, but the premise is excellent. He's live streaming whilst he's being an Uber driver, and he's so desperate for fame that he decides to kill people on his live feed, and it just goes from bad to worse. It escalates. It's excellent. The dude in it is the guy from Stranger Things as well. It's a brilliant film. To me, an original premise and very, very timely, and does make you kind of see behind the curtain a little bit on influencer mindset, and it's not all it's cracked up to be. So Spree is excellent. In fact, this was so close to being in the must-watch category. It's new on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, watch it tonight. The Woman in Black, Daniel Radcliffe proving he can do more than just swing a wand about. I love this movie. It's an incredibly creepy movie. I'll never forget the first time I saw it. Oh my goodness, was I creeped out. Apparently the stage version of Woman in Black is terrifying. The Woman in Black actually walks along the rows as you watch the stage play. And I really want to go and see The Woman in Black on West End or wherever it is. So the film, very creepy. He's like a solicitor lawyer guy that has to go to the Woman in Black's house to sort out all the affairs, and of course it just gets creepier and creepier. More children die, etc. And it is absolutely terrifying. Have to say, I did give Woman in Black 2 a watch the other week. That is dog shit. So watch The Woman in Black and stop there. I've saved you about 2 hours of your life. Insidious is just, it's Insidious, isn't it? It's now a classic. I know it sounds mad because it came out in like 2012, and to some people that feels like yesterday. To me it certainly does, but that was 8-9 years ago. Now it's coming up to a decade. I feel sick. But Insidious, I feel like it's a banker. If you want a scary movie, you know, with a Darth Maul-like demon, say no more, go no further than Insidious. It's brilliant. Insidious, James Wan, I believe, hope I don't get that wrong, at his finest. A Haunted House. Now this is one of my girlfriend's favourite movies. I hadn't seen it. I won't lie to you. I hate the scary movies. I think they're shit, to be honest. I don't like the whole taking the piss out of other movies kind of trope. But I gave Haunted House a chance because she was like, it's one of the funniest things ever. I gave it a watch, and I have to say it is absolutely hilarious. It really goes to town on Paranormal Activity. It is really funny. There's the Wayans brothers back on top. I know it's a few years old now, but if you haven't seen their Haunted House and you want spooks and a good laugh, then definitely check it out. Okay, on to must watch now. There's 2 movies. The first one, arguably one of my favourite movies of all time, is Shaun of the Dead. Horror comedy, absolutely fantastic. There's not much I really need to say about this movie. You've probably already seen it. If you have not seen Shaun of the Dead, I have no idea why you haven't seen Shaun of the Dead. Please watch Shaun of the Dead immediately. I have this on DVD and I got it from HMV. It was like a cool limited edition comic strip sleeve. Just thought it was cool. That's my copy of Shaun of the Dead, but you can get it right now on Netflix for the cost of your Netflix subscription. If you haven't seen it, please watch it. And I had to put this on here. It's in the horror genre because I think they're like snakes and stuff, but snakes on a plane. You've just got to watch it. I'm sorry. I mean, it's Samuel L. Jackson, you know, throwing so many MFs and just killing snakes for a couple of hours on a plane. It's brilliant. It's snakes on a plane. I love the title, Snakes on a Plane. What's the film about? Snakes on a plane. It does exactly what it says on the tin. The only thing that this film is missing, in all honesty, is Nicolas Cage. He would have fit in like a glove, like a perfectly fitting glove. But yeah, so that is another must watch if you haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in ages, so I'm gonna watch it very, very soon. But there we go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This has been some horror options for you to watch on Netflix. I hope that they help. Let me know some horror films down below in the comments, and I might make another tier list for you. I'm probably gonna do a true crime one as well very, very soon. I may even branch out into comedy movies and that, do you know what I mean? Not pigeonhole myself completely into this paranormal, horror, true crime for these tier lists, because at the end of the day, people love to watch movies, don't they? So, yeah. Anyway, let me know if you want to see that. Please like, share, and subscribe. I also have a podcast, the Allegedly Possibly Maybe podcast. I have a clothing brand at my clothing. You can check that out at allegedlypossiblymaybe.co.uk and the podcast on all your podcast platforms / YouTube, of course. I'm doing this outro on my microphone because my camera died for the second time in one filming. I think that's the first that's ever happened. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you very soon. Sweet one, guys. What do you think of the tier list?